Oh my god, I hope you hear me well. Wait. I am okay. Hello everyone. I am so excited that you're tuning in today. Today we're going to talk about finally feeling loved. So, love is such a powerful thing in our lives, and I feel like when we drop more in our feminine energy, it automatically means we have to let go of our guard that we have used in order to protect our heart and that we have developed, and let those walls, fall down, get down, and be healed step by step. And I think a feminine woman knows that she's loved and is able to receive love, and is open in order to receive, are more receptive and open, which allows us to be more in our feminine side and energy. So I want to start with a story. When I was younger, I never really felt loved. And that doesn't mean that I wasn't loved, but I didn't feel it. And I guess a lot of you know, like, the book, the five love languages. And if the people around us communicate love in some way to us, but we have to understand their language. And for example, acts of service, now as I'm like older and more mature, I understand that when people do things for me or go the extra mile, that they're loving on me. As a child, I was a little like spoiled. Like, people do things for you just because you're a child. So I didn't see it as somebody loves me. I just saw like somebody does something for me. I don't know. And I think my love language was definitely physical touch and words of affirmation. So that's the way I felt loved. But in my family growing up, that was definitely not the love language that was being communicated or spoken. And when I say family, I don't only mean my parents, but also grandparents and other relatives. And so I did not really feel loved, even though I was loved. And what I realized is that in order to really feel loved and in order to be truly receptive and open for love, we need to have the wiring, so the neural pathways in our brain that allow us to feel loved. I just bought the book Habits of a Happy Brain. I just started reading it, but what I've read is so extremely good. It is about dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, um, and they already said endorphin, and these happy hormones, and the way our brain promotes survival and helps us to survive, and therefore gives us these happy feelings when we do things that secure and promote our survival and the survival of our genes. So that's why love is so extremely important. And when we do not feel loved, we can get into survival mode because love promotes survival. When people love us, we know that resources will be available to us. When parents love us, we know that they will take care of our needs, emotional as well as physical, and this will promote our survival. They are our security for survival. So when we are in survival mode, we have it harder to receive love because we're constantly looking out for danger and threat, and we don't feel safe. And so when we're constantly in this mode of hypervigilance, and fight or flight, it is really hard to receive love because you're just okay. My Wi-Fi said goodbye. I hope it's working now. So what I wanted to say is, I was really in a high state of distress, and my survival, my brain was telling me that I'm in a threat of survival. And my nervous system was completely dysregulated. And here's what I realized. The more I feel loved, the less I'm in survival mode. Because when I feel loved, I automatically feel safe. Because I know that when I am loved, I am safe. But I have to make this connection between love and safety. And I need to have the neural pathways in order to receive love. So when I grew up, receiving love, or in general love, there was a lot of danger connected to it, a lot of fear, a lot of threat, and a lot of protectionism that I had to develop at this time in order to survive, which is good, right? That's why our brain is so smart and develops these techniques and strategies to protect us. But now I'm like older, I'm not in a situation anymore, I'm not helpless, I'm not like a small child anymore. And I do want to receive love. I want to love people, I want to feel loved by my friends, by my family, by my future husband. And so I realized, okay, people love me, but I didn't feel loved. So I needed to develop new neural pathways and rewire my brain in a way that is able to receive love fully and to feel loved. What I want to say with that is, if our like the electricity in our brain is always taking the path of least resistance. So when I have a lot of neural pathways, and they're really strengthened because I have been like going those pathways um so many times, like thousands of times, closeness is a threat, or receiving love is dangerous. Then I have been going. So, for anyone who's not into neuroscience, it's basically the science that our brain has neurons and neuron pathways, and when it's like a walk, you know, when you have like greens out there, and you walk over it, and you walk over it, and you walk over it, and then there develops a really like a path. And then everybody, when people are just walking, they just walk there because it's easier than going through all these like grass and like high grass and like other plants. So this is the path of least resistance. This is the easiest thing to go. It is our default setting. It is where we're going when we're not consciously thinking about it or doing something different. So we have a relationship blueprint. So we have a complete set of beliefs and set of neural pathways that we have developed by the relationships and our primary attachments to our caregivers, our parents, most of the time. And we have learned a complete set of rules how to behave in relationships, how to behave in close attachments, how to navigate these situations. And if our upbringing and the way our parents had their attachment to each other was very healthy, we developed a secure attachment to them because they were a source where we felt secure whenever we needed something, either emotionally or physical, we could go to them. And then we developed a secure attachment style. So when we do not have a secure attachment style, it is not because we're like crazy people or we're toxic. It is the environment where we grew up did not allow us to securely attach to someone. So what if your caregiver wasn't a source of safety but was a source of danger? You cannot develop a secure attachment style with someone who is a source of danger. That is not the fault of the child. It is 100% the responsibility of the adult, the caregiver. So, if you don't have a secure attachment style yet, stop blaming you, and it is definitely not your fault. We don't have to blame our parents either because if they could have done it better, they would have done it better. But it is our responsibility to develop a more secure attachment style. So I'm currently doing this workbook. It's called Securely Attached. I don't know the author. And it's a workbook where you journal all these experiences of your childhood. So let me think about what she's writing. Maybe something like, who could you go to when you were in distress? Or who helped you to regulate when you felt were in a distressed moment? And every human being, all children do have distress moments. Like, for example, in school, something is happening, with their friends, is something happening, they're falling, they're crying. Everybody has that. But did you have a secure attachment? So, a caregiver, a person where you could always go to if something bad happened on the outside? If the answer is yes, you develop a secure attachment style, and therefore your relationship blueprint has a lot of healthy ways to relate to other people. If the answer is no, then you had to develop some kind of strategies that made you cope with all this life distress on your own without having an adult to guide you through it. Which means you do have a lot of trapped emotions in your body and belief systems that can and should be changed in order to fully feel loved and do have good and healthy relationships. So, for example, reaching out to people when we are in distress and when we are sad or something, it is really a natural and healthy thing to do. It's really good. So, for example, if you didn't have somebody available to you to reach out when you were sad, when you needed to cry, then what did you learn? You'd learn to either stuck your emotions down, avoid your feelings at all, try to cope with them. Maybe overeating, maybe distracting yourself. Every child is different and copes differently in those situations, but you're gonna cope in some way. So now, when you are an adult, you do have so much more availabilities. But the thing is, we're gonna seek people who mirror back to us the things that we believe. So when I believe I am unworthy of getting my needs met because my caregivers were not able to meet my needs in the way that I needed, then I'm gonna attract people who are unable to meet my needs because this is the people that I unconsciously seek because this is my relationship blueprint. So it is, for me, it's so hard. I always attracted super emotionally unavailable people, and I was like, this cannot be. And I was so annoyed because I had this pattern all the time. And I was like, what do I do wrong? They're so emotionally unavailable, and I want to be closer, but I can't. And they're ignoring me and they're ghosting me, and I was devastated. Devastated is the right word. I was so annoyed, but also so helpless. Because it was just happening all over again, and it was so painful. So then I lived inside, and I was like, maybe I am a little bit emotionally unavailable. I felt my emotions. I felt them very intensely, so I didn't think I was emotionally unavailable. But I had to protect myself in order to survive. So when I was younger, I don't have to do that anymore. And therefore, I did protect myself a lot. And I had all these walls up above my who were unavailable too. I'm so annoyed. My Wi-Fi does not play with me right now. I am gonna go to a different room, maybe. Maybe I'm gonna go downstairs. So that's what I wanted to say. When we learned when we learn that it's not safe to be vulnerable and to be open, then wait. Hello, do you guys see me? So, when we did not learn, okay, so when we did not learn how to be open and vulnerable, then we had to protect ourselves because we had to protect ourselves. We're going to continue this pattern, and all our relationships are going to be embedded with this pattern. And the more my attachment style became more secure. So you have a secure attachment style when you had a secure caregiver in your childhood. When you do the healing work and you earn a secure attachment style because of the work you did. When you grow up with a healthy environment, with healthy people, where you healthily and securely be attached to, you don't have to earn anything because this comes naturally to you because it was available to you. So if that is not the case, it is okay. We can learn from it and we can heal. And then it's called earned secure attachment style. It's because you put in the work, a lot of work, to change it. So, yes, where was I coming with that? That's about secure attachment style. Oh yeah, because I'm doing this workbook right now, and working on it because I want to increase my secure attachment style like more. And become even more securely attached. And it's so extremely good. It is so extremely good. And it goes so deeply and it is so valuable. And I realized that in every relationship, also like business relationships or anything, you always bring your attachment style, right? Because there are people you're working with and you cannot outplay your attachment style because that is just the way you handle people. So especially with my finances, I realized this a lot. And the more secure my attachment style came, the more secure and confident I felt with my finances. And actually, the fear of running out of finances is the fear of abandonment. So when I'm scared of being abandoned, I'm also scared that my money basically abandons me because I do have a relationship with my finances. And I see my relationships patterns also in the relationship with my money. That's like on the side note, because I'm like doing a lot of inner work around my finances right now, and it's so exciting and so cool. I might share in another video more about that. Yeah. So feeling loved, finally feeling loved, basically means we are loved, right? We are loved by God, and we all have people in our lives who love us, who cherish us, who want to be with us, who want to spend time with us. And I just tell you, even if you feel like, "Oh, no, I don't know if they really love me," you will have some people when you develop a more secure attachment style. I developed so many great relationships and friendships and everything alone in the past year just because I've been working on this. I did not try to improve my relationships. I did not try to like meet new people and do this and do this. I just solely focused on my secure attachment style. And weirdly, I saw people in a new way. I could spot, I can look at someone in 5 minutes, I know what kind of attachment style I had. But the cool thing was, I realized I changed who I'm attracted to. Before, I was unconsciously attracted to the unavailable people, to the unhealthy people. They're not bad people, but they have bad patterns, such as I did. And the more I shifted to the more healthy side of attachment and the more healthy attachment styles and relationships pattern, I was attracted to people who were the same. That's why, sadly, and it makes me sad and angry at the same time, if you do have a more challenging childhood and therefore challenging relationships, that's why those kind of people often end up in abusive, non-supportive relationships because this is what they're used to and this is what they're wired for. They're wired for toxicity and they're an energetic match to toxic relationships. By changing the emotions and changing the beliefs and changing our relationship blueprint, we change the way we see the world and the way we approach relationships. And we don't have to change our actions because they will automatically change by the way we change how our brain is working. So you have to think about like there's this neural network, like all these neural pathways and how your brain is working. And then there's this one like network of relationships. And it's saying my needs never get met, people always abandon me, people will abuse me, I'm scared of closeness. All of these networks, right? You have been thinking this so much because it was your reality at some point. And therefore, this is the path of least resistance. It's your default setting. You're set up for bad relationships because that is what you expect and this is what you subconsciously look for. Two, like what is the word? To fulfill the prophecy that you're basically making by thinking these things. So, but now you start to believe I'm worthy of love. People love me. Love is safe. I'm secure. I'm taken care of. My needs get met. It's safe to communicate my needs. I speak up for myself. I set healthy boundaries. Mm, and you wire your brain in a new way. And yes, that does not happen over time because depending on what has happened to you in the past, or what happened during your childhood where your brain was just so open to be programmed, you just have to rewire it. But what really helped me is whenever these things were coming up, um, and these emotions were coming up, like I'm scared of being abandoned, I'm scared of being heard, I knew this feeling in my body is my programming. It is not the reality anymore. And time again, my body understood what my brain is understanding. And still, there are times where my body is in super distress because I'm scared that people will do this or this or this, what I have experienced in the past. So, this is not what I'm just coming up with. I have been experiencing this, but I decide that this is not the reality that I'm living in anymore because I'm an adult, I can choose and decide and have the responsibility to make good decisions for myself, which I did not have when I was a child. So, yeah, just observe what's coming up in your body and just decide, hey, it's okay that you're still feeling this, but I know that this is not the truth. And I decide that relationships will work this and this and this way for me. And this way, you will be able to receive love in a more healthy and positive way. And if you desire one-on-one private coaching with me to learn more about this and work on your inner topics or raising your self-worth, being more in your feminine energy, being more connected to your body and your emotions, I would love to work with you. I would be so happy and so excited to see how you're changing and support you on your journey. My email address is in the description, and I would love if you just write me an email. We can have a short call and then start. I would love to. I would be so excited. I would feel so privileged to support you on your journey and what you're going through. I hope you have a beautiful day. I'm gonna have like a sleepover with like three of my girlfriends. So I'm so excited they're coming like in an hour or something. So yes, I hope to see you soon in the next video. If you like this video, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel and share it with somebody who needs to hear that. I love you so much. Remember, you're so loved. God loves you, people love you, your friends, your family, and you love yourself too. I'm so excited. Bye bye. You're Naomi. Actually, I like this background. I should do like film me more often.